Brianna, if you want to get us started.
Yeah, I can get us started. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I first want to start with obviously the crew have had a pretty light offseason. You guys have only added one player so far outside the organization, of course. Can you talk about what that kind of tells the locker room and the message that the front office is sending to the players right now?
It's a belief within about this group of what we've done over the last 2 years. But I also think that they're not done doing stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great compliment. But we also know in this league, you can't get complacent on stuff. So, yeah, but it's nice. And the energy in the group is really good. So we're all looking forward to this preseason continuing.
Besides the obvious of the amount of rest you guys have had, how's going into this training camp different from last year, coming off the championship, and then this time you had a lot more rest and it's coming off a loss. How is the energy just different this training camp?
Yeah, I think it was just bad timing how things ended, and being able to then fully regroup and refocus was good. For me personally, I hadn't been back in California for an extended period of time in almost 3 years. So it was good to get home and see some friends and family and spend some time with them, sort of get my mind off of the crazy year that it was. And everybody came in really good. So it's a refocused group, a hungry group again, with a lot to prove. So it's exciting because you see the energy within the group in every session. So it's been good.
What was the biggest thing you kind of learned from last off season, just training camp, I should say, last training camp, preparing for 50 games, compare and now that you know for this training camp to be ready for a possibly another long season with, I know you guys are hoping for another 50 plus game season.
Yeah, the importance of this training camp. I think we have a little bit longer this time, plus the first 2 weeks of the season are just one game that week, so it adds those 2 weeks to be able to work. So just the importance of every day here and taking advantage of every day that we have together is really vital. And then incorporating new guys and young guys. Yeah, so we've had a bit of fun when it's been our downtime, but we've been working really hard, and so this phase of preseason is almost over in a couple of days, and then we'll head back to Columbus.
And last thing for me, it feels like on social media, you're a California native, but you've really embraced Columbus, especially going to this Ohio State soccer game after football, tweeting out. Can you just talk about the longer you've been here, the more you've just kind of embraced Columbus as kind of a home for you?
Yeah, I think it's become a home for me and my family. My kids love it. My wife loves it. Obviously, everybody knows Cash was born in Columbus, so it's a piece of us. And so, how welcoming the city and the club have been to myself and my family led us very easily to throw ourselves out there and become fans of the rest of the city. So it's been awesome, and we enjoy it. Like you said, I went to my first Ohio State football game. Didn't realize that one of the coach's kids was going to the same school as Zara. So like stuff like that. Columbus is a small, big city, and everybody knows each other. So it's great to be able to support everybody in the market, and hopefully I can get out to many more games.
Thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead, Chris.
Thanks, Esteban. Christian, great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Yeah, thanks. Gosh, I was excited to see that you were doing a finishing camp at the end of the year. How did that go over in California with the kids?
It was good. I did it a few years ago, and since I hadn't been back, I hadn't had the opportunity to do it again. But it was awesome. We planned it. Excuse me. We planned it pretty quickly with one of my buddies or two of my buddies that have a training business out there, and got some people signed up right away, and it was great to see. Great to be able to put some of the stuff that I've learned over the last few years into play and passed down. I had nephews and nieces that came out. I had kids that had come out to the first one a few years back. We're a bit older now. So it's good. It's a different type of camp than you're accustomed to. The kids are accustomed to coming to, because it was only focused on finishing. So you're not really playing against people. You're just there to work on yourself. So it's something cool that I hope, if there is a time during the summer that I'm able to put something together like that in Columbus, would be ideal, because I think it'd be really good in market. So it's something that potentially I'm open to. But again, it all depends on the madness of our schedule, and not being able to plan 3 weeks ahead of time is tough. So yeah, but hopefully in the future.
There's some adage that I don't remember that has to do with how you learn more about the craft as you teach it. Do you find that as you're sharing ideas with younger players that you yourself are being reminded of all of those teaching points, those important points when it comes to finishing?
Yes, definitely. Because you have to go back to the basics of everything to explain it. And you go through your checklist in your head of why you do certain things, and how you can pass that information down. So there is some truth to that. I was actually having a conversation with Wilfred a few days ago about, like, when I took my coaching course, like the translation that had onto me as a player. Being able to see that side of things really helped push me forward, and really has helped me grow in a different way, and only benefited me. So I think it goes hand in hand with what you just said.
I'll use this phrase, but I don't mean in a pejorative way. You've been through a lot of preseasons. How do you avoid the old dog, new tricks trap, where you're not complacent, where you're pushing yourself, where you're attentive to the assignment of the day?
You just take every day as it comes. Sometimes become, especially the first part of preseason, when you're in double days, it can become repetitive, because you feel like you're just eating, sleeping, training, recovery, eating, sleeping, training, recovery, and the days start to blur together. But you just have to remind yourself, every time that you're out there, there's a new topic. And I think that's something good that we've done this first phase. We've broken it into different topics. And yeah, we've gotten our work done. And I always have told myself, I like to learn something new every time I'm out there. So I'm always testing myself, and also having the young kids out there, you're able to pass information on to them and see them take it on board. So that has really helped. But yeah, I don't think it gets boring at all.
That's great. Thanks, man. Enjoy your time out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any last one, Brianna?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Christian.
right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Christian.